Is it just me? Why is it so hot? Hey beautiful friends, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to recap week number 1 of my 30-day 50-50 plate challenge. I am jumping in here really quickly. If you want to check out the timestamps down below, you can see the entire video layout, just in case you don't want to sit through the chatty parts. You just want to see the food, the workouts, how much weight I lost, etc. Just click down on the timestamps down below. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I posted a community post, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, just sharing that I wanted to do the 50-50 plate challenge, which in reality is not that hard when you think of how to build a plate. But personally, this week has been difficult. I've been doing my best, but I thought I'd recap the entire week and ask you guys how you're doing. A lot of people are in Rena and Courtney's Facebook group. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'll link my oatmeal video down below. You can go to the end of that video where I share what I'm doing for my challenge. I also shared that my friend's Facebook group is open to anyone who would like to join this challenge, have some accountability, share some posts, ask questions, etc., etc. And I'll link their Facebook group down in the description box below in case you want to join. It's not just for the challenge. They do a great job on educating when it comes to a high starch, low fat diet. Both of them follow, both Rena and Courtney follow a starch solution based diet, and they're so knowledgeable. I personally will say right here, right now, I am not like a cult follower of the starch solution. I utilize a high starch, low fat diet, but I also have plenty of treats in my diet as well. But why do I want to do this 30-day challenge? Well, because I like to challenge myself. I like to do different things, and I haven't personally ate 50-50 since I think November of 2020. It was like November, December, January of 2021 when I was doing 50-50 plate, and I just wanted to try it again. I wanted to see if I could do it. So this week in a nutshell was difficult for me for a lot of reasons. I mean, you can do whatever you want to do. You can make excuses, whatever. But I think getting back into going straight 50-50 veggies and starch was harder this week because I'm not on my normal schedule. We've been on vacation, so add in the element of you have a break, you're not on your normal routine, and then trying to do something kind of difficult. I probably should have started this week Monday, as in the 19th versus the 12th, but hey, I will say I was about 80% compliant, and I'm really happy with that. And here's why. You can be all or nothing mindset, right? We've all been there, most likely, where you're all in, and then the moment that you either fail or something becomes difficult, you just go, I'm out. Like, I'm not doing this anymore. And personally, I've been that person in my 20s, and I don't want to be that person anymore. So instead, when a hurdle came up this week, we had 2 social events, we had a party to go to. I'm not the person to bring my own food, because I just feel like for me in my social life, if someone knows I'm plant-based, they've gone the extra mile to make something for me that they think I'm gonna like, as a host, I'm really not gonna be rude and be like,
I'm not gonna eat that because I'm trying to do a 50-50 plate.
Like, no, I feel like that's so rude. And I guess I think of myself as a host. We like to have parties, we like to have people over. If I knew someone ate a specific way because of their beliefs or because of their allergies, and I made them something and they were like,
oh no, I don't want to eat that because
XYZ, I feel like I'd be like, oh, well, I tried, and I don't want to hurt that person's feelings. So anyways, I was about 80-20, 80% compliant this week, 20% failure, and it was more difficult than it was a lot more difficult because when we're on vacation, we like to go out to eat, we like to hang out with friends, we like to just do different things because it's a break. And in reality, if there's 365 days in a year and a couple handfuls of them you're not compliant to your normal everyday eating habits, that's okay. That's life. I always say that food is for social events, for fun. You can, you know, get really nitty gritty with it if you want to, but this week was a little bit more challenging for me. So next week I'm going to really apply myself because my normal routine is back. I'm going to meal prep today, and my hope is to share with you 7 days of what I ate for my own accountability, but also to help you guys out in case you are doing the 50-50 challenge so you don't feel alone, so you have someone who's hanging out with you who feels the same. So let me know down below, are you doing the 50-50 plate challenge? Are you going to start with me tomorrow? Are you going to do a week, a month? If you did this past week, how did it go for you? I really enjoyed seeing a lot of the Facebook posts pop up. I don't get on Facebook much, but I tried to kind of stay in the group and look at everybody's stuff, and some of the meals you guys all made beautiful. Another thing that's harder for me personally is a lot of times when I up my fiber, my body isn't quite ready for that. But it is what it is. So I tend to do about 75% starch for most of my meals and then like 25% veggies. But this week, again, I'm gonna try really hard with just going 50-50. I'm gonna share with you my food for the week. I have a lot of recipes to share with you, plus I'll link some videos down below that you can check out. I have an amazing sauce recipe that I tried that I will type out and leave in the description box that is so good on potatoes. You guys need to try it. I tried my best this week to keep my meals really simple. I did have a Synergy. The fall edition is my favorite, and I had one of these every single morning. Here I am editing. This is the first day, day one. And a lot of my meals were just potatoes and greens. And the reason I have a hard time sharing meal by meal, day by day, is because I feel like it gets so repetitive and so boring. But next week, like I said, for accountability, I'm going to try to do 7 days of what I eat in a day. And if it gets a little repetitive and boring, I'm not going to apologize for it because that's life. So this is a leftover lentil stew that I did put on some of my potatoes earlier on in the week until it was gone. I shared this over in Courtney and Rena's Facebook group. It's really delicious. And I made this in a crock pot video, which I will link down below. Again, I'm trying not to be super repetitive and share every single recipe in every single video, because if you've watched my crock pot videos, if you've watched my one pot videos from the past few days, you've kind of already seen all these. So another thing I did that was really helpful for me is I did roast a lot of vegetables, and I roasted them in the mornings this week and then just had different ones. Sometimes I had onions and carrots, sometimes peppers. Here you're seeing broccoli, cauliflower, and green beans. I personally really like frozen veggies roasted. It's just a preference. If you like fresh, do that. If you like frozen, do that. If you like canned, do that. But I did have a large variety. And then again, I could throw these veggies that I was making in the mornings. I could have those with the soups and the stews that I was making this week as well. So just kind of different options. Again, I'm not sharing with you every single meal I had this week, but I did my best. And then if you're wondering, because I did share with you, it's a little bit difficult, we went out to eat. And traditionally we just go to like a Mexican restaurant. So I will get like plant-based fajitas. So it's a lot of vegetables and then corn tortillas. So technically it's like 50-50, but there is some oil involved. I don't like take things too seriously. I don't try to eliminate all oils from my diet. I just don't cook with them because it's just a personal preference. I feel like when you cook with a lot of heavy oils, your food tastes like oil. Like it doesn't taste good to me. So here I'm cutting up a bunch of Japanese sweet potatoes, and I had these for lunches for a couple of days, and I threw together a really delicious sauce, which you'll see here in a little bit. It was so good. Potatoes tend to be like my go-to, but I did have oats a couple times this week. I don't think I took any clips of them because it was just like oats with almond butter. I had a serving of almonds and a serving of almond butter every single day, so I had some type of fat. And then I did have a Brazil nut every single day. So I do try to include some fat somewhere in my diet because I can't have a lot of fatty foods. And it's kind of curious because I don't share my gluten issues. I don't share my stomach issues. I don't share any of my allergy stuff. I get a lot of unwarranted advice in the comments, which is fine. I think people are just trying to be kind and say, hey, I've had a stomach issue, or I've had this and this is what I switched to. But really, I try not to give any of my own personal advice because I don't want someone watching to try something and it doesn't help them. And I think this is more genetic than, at least that's what I'm learning, than just regular food intolerances, because my mom is actually going through a lot with her digestion. And so it's really curious to see, just the layout of it all. Anyways, without getting too deep, if you've ever left a comment and said like, hey, you tried to do gluten-free, you should try this, or, oh, you should try this. Just try to keep in mind that everybody's bodies are not the same. We all like different foods, and our bodies process different foods. And if you're one of those people that struggles with certain food intolerances, or you have certain sensitivities for food, I highly encourage you to go see a professional, maybe get an allergy test, maybe get your gut looked at, maybe, do an elimination diet, but do all those things with a professional, not a YouTuber, and not through the YouTube comments. And I mean that in the kindest way, but really I'm not looking for any advice when it comes to food, because like I said, I think we are learning that this is more genetic than like overall just like normal food sensitivities. So anyways, I'll type out the sauce recipe. I chatted through all that in the description box below and leave it for you. It's really, really good. You could definitely use maple syrup instead of agave, but that's just what I had on hand, so that's what I used, and these were so good. I'm no stranger to telling you all to do mustard and lemon on your potatoes. Oh my gosh, my favorite thing ever, especially with like Italian seasoning and garlic, really good. But this was like a little bit spicy and a little bit sweet. If you don't have the Carolina yellow barbecue sauce, you can use anything you have on hand. That one's just really tangy, so I like it because it's a mustard vinegar base. You can also throw this on the vegetables if you want to, but again, just a couple of meal ideas that were really quick and easy. But this next coming week, I think I'm going to kind of bulk meal prep a little bit more, like rice, quinoa, potatoes, because that's what I have on hand, and then do some roasted veggies on the side. So I also still like to put together like meals. I'm just not one that's like, I don't know, I go back and forth to see what's easier for us, but I like to put together meals, especially when I'm sharing them on YouTube. So this was like a hamburger helper / goulash. It is lentils and chickpea pasta, tomatoes, onions, really good. And then I could just put some veggies on the side. I'll link this video down below too. It just went up Tuesday. So if you go back on my channel, it's the $5 dinners, which is the video right before this one. And then this is a mushroom lentil stew that I also made. Oh my gosh, this was my favorite meal of the week. I'm gonna make this again for the coming week, and then I can have it again with veggies on the side. I had this with salad, I had it with green beans, I had it with cauliflower, just kind of anything, you know, veggie wise. But it's just mushroom, lentils, carrots, potatoes, onions, tomato paste. Really easy to make, super easy to throw on potatoes. Like I said, veggies on the side. Really delicious, a lot of flavor, and really budget friendly, which again is something that I always try to do. We're not perfect. We just follow our own grocery budget, and that might look different for us than it does for you, but I try to share easy meal ideas in case you're looking for something that's budget friendly, plant-based, you have food fatigue, you want something different. But this was a really delicious meal. Out of all of them, I would recommend making this stew and the potatoes with like the Dijon and agave. Both of them are really good. And then of course I made a lot of crockpot recipes this week, which if you did see my crockpot videos, you've seen most of these, but I had a lot of leftover. This was one of the stews I had this week, and it was really delicious. I think this is actually the only crockpot recipe I made this week, but it was really good, and you'll find that recipe linked below. Speaking of food, something I wanted to share with you really quick that I was told about over on Instagram is this app that might be really helpful for you if you are looking to do the 50-50, or even just to kind of revamp your diet a little bit. It's called the Daily Dozen. I'm probably the only person in the world who didn't know about this app. Essentially, you can just go through and click off the items that you've had, and you can have all of these in a single day. I'm gonna try to use this app this week. I gotta be honest, I'm not super into tracking my food or using apps or anything like that, just a personal preference. And some of these things on here, like nuts and seeds, flaxseed, I mean, I did have a serving of almonds every day this week. I did have a Brazil nut every day. That's just what I do. As far as flax seeds, it's like hit or miss. I don't know if I'll have them every day. I guess I could put them in my oatmeal. So I'm gonna try. I'm not, like I said, I'm not like an app person, but if you are and you want some extra accountability to kind of have a layout, this is a really great idea. What are my overall goals? Why am I doing this challenge? One, I'm doing this just to challenge myself. I really enjoy kind of having something on my agenda so I don't have food fatigue. It's just my personality. It's the same with running. It's the same with working out. It's the same with life goals. I always have to kind of have a goal or a challenge set in place for something to achieve. It's so I don't get complacent. I thought I would encompass this whole week by also sharing my workouts, what I've been doing, what I've been up to, because obviously movement is a huge part of my life. I really enjoy movement just as much as I do plant-based foods. It's a distressor for me. It's kind of funny how one of the best parts of my day is completely exhausting myself, so I feel somewhat normal. I'm a very busy person, a very go personality. I always have to be moving, so working out for me is a stress reliever, but also it kind of relieves a lot of my personal anxiety, and not anxiety as like worrisome, but anxiety as like some people are just naturally anxious. That is me, and I'm always on the move, so working out does really help me. So for workouts this week, I did run quite a bit. I started a new workout program. I really have been enjoying actually running less. This week I did 2 days that were just cardio only, so either Stairmaster or a 3 or 4 mile run, and then each day I did do at least 30 minutes of cardio, and then my workout took me between like 30 and 40 minutes, which is perfect for me. Well, hello. Day 1 of workouts. I'm a little bit nervous. This is the workout for the week. I'll put it up right here, or the week. The day. I did run 3 miles quickly this morning. I'm gonna warm up with 1, just kind of like get my body warmed up. I'll show you clips of the workout. Like I said, I'm a little nervous, but I can do this, right? Honestly, it's just like going at your own pace and believing that you can and knowing that you have goals. And when it gets hard, just again, believing that you can do it. That's what I keep telling myself. I cross train like 2 to 3 days a week, but like, I think this is a 6-day-a-week program, so less running, more working out, like more cross training. Let's do it. Just so there is no confusion, because I keep talking about running less, but that I'm still running. Usually I run between 4 and 6 miles a day, and then I cross train 2 days a week, sometimes 3 days a week. If we're being honest, I haven't cross trained in probably a month and a half. But anyways, that is why I'm saying running less, but I'm still doing 30 minutes of cardio every single day, whether it's running or it's doing the stepper, and then doing 5 days a week of workouts. And I'm not going to share all of my workouts with you because it is a program that I paid for. I just bought a program that a lady does, individualized programs depending on your goals. And so far I'm really liking it. 1 week in, my legs are so sore from yesterday's workout, but I'm really happy overall with it. And I know I'm gonna get this question. What is your husband eating while you're eating the 50-50 plate? Is he eating like you? My husband's not a picky eater. He will literally eat anything that you set in front of him. Literally. I'm kind of like the picky eater, if you will, because I prefer certain foods plus need certain foods because I can't have a lot of fats when it comes to like avocados and nuts. I have a lot of allergies. I also prefer not to eat animal products, so I'm like the picky eater. He will eat anything you put in front of him, but I'm super thankful that we had Green Chef delivered this week so that he could enjoy some of his favorite meals. And honestly, I didn't really mind cooking extra this week because we were on vacation. If you've been around my channel for any amount of time, you're no stranger for me and my husband loving Green Chef. If you've never heard of Green Chef, well, then you're super lucky to have clicked on today's video. Green Chef is a CCOF certified organic company with options for every lifestyle: keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, fast and fit, Mediterranean, and gluten-free. Their doorstep delivery allows you to skip the grocery store, while pre-portioned ingredients and pre-made sauces make cooking a snap, especially on busy nights. This fall with Green Chef, you can choose to experience premium balanced meals that excite your palate and support your healthy lifestyle. Green Chef has options for every lifestyle, which is amazing, especially if you eat differently than maybe your partner or your spouse. They have options, like I said, vegan, paleo, vegetarian, fast and fit, Mediterranean, and gluten-free. Personally, I love making Green Chef meals because my husband's not a picky eater, but also he doesn't want to eat the same way as me, and this also helps encourage him to eat more plant-based, plant-forward foods, and I get to enjoy them as well because they are gluten-free options. I've shared with you so many times, but Green Chef is our go-to option for date nights. We love hanging out in our home. We love being in our kitchen. And with us having like a large island, a lot of times my husband will hang out. He might make drinks. I'll make a Green Chef meal. And it's just a really fun option. And it's a lot more budget friendly for us to cook at home than go out to eat for a date night dinner. A couple of weeks ago, we also had Green Chef when we had friends over, and it was just really fun to introduce them to some plant-based meals that are more festive than what I traditionally cook in my home. And so it's another great option for us when we are hosting. Use my code Miranda135 to get $135 off across 5 boxes plus free shipping on your first box. Go to greenchef.com for more details. So no, my husband didn't just have Green Chef meals this week, but he did have a lot of them because we were on vacation and I knew that I was going to start the 50-50 plate challenge, and I know that's not what he wants to eat, and that is perfectly okay. We all don't have the same goals overall, and we don't all have the same food needs, but he really enjoyed this flatbread pizza along with some plant-based burgers. He had like a black bean burger, he had taco bowls, he had quinoa bowls, he had so many different options. But yes, he did sometimes eat the crock pot meals that I shared, he did have some soup and some stews and some bread. So he had a large variety of diet this week, but he does eat a lot. So he was just really happy to have a lot of different foods, like I said, while we were on break this week. And because I know everyone, I can see on the analytics where everyone clicks when it comes to these types of videos. What about weight loss? Well, as far as weight loss goes, I did actually lose weight this week. I attribute that 100% to just being mostly on track. Again, I'm not trying to lose weight, but it is a side effect of really cleaning up your diet. When you think about it, instead of me eating a processed protein plant-based bar and instead eating potatoes and maybe squash and veggies, just like the two itself does help kind of deflame the gut a little bit. I also was eating a lot of lentils, so my fiber was higher than normal. I did lose 1.2 pounds, and that is coming off of the oat diet where my body hasn't put itself back to its regular set weight. So I guess I'm in weight loss mode, if you will, but I'm really trying to focus on my endurance, focus on my training, and focus on my meals just to feel optimal, just to feel good. I think all too often we focus on just weight loss and we think like that's the marker and the goal we need to achieve, when we really forget that overall health isn't just weight loss. It's movement, it's how we feel, it's hydration, it's eating foods that are healthy and nutritious for our body. And hopefully that is what I can kind of share with you guys, and that is what you can get out of my videos for the next few weeks. So that's my weekly check-in. I hope you really enjoyed seeing my food, seeing my workout, seeing what my husband ate, and just hearing overall that like, hi, I'm human. This is not naturally easy for me because again, this is not normally how I eat. I eat like 80% high starchy foods, and then I do have my treats sprinkled in. So this week was kind of, you know, kind of normal, kind of not, but I'm really enjoying just finding new meals and new ideas. Also, I think this week, like I said, I'm going to meal prep a little bit differently. Instead of meals, I'm going to meal prep like individual like potatoes and veggies, because I did that once last week and it was actually really nice. So I'm gonna meal prep some rice, some quinoa, some potatoes, and then just have bulk items on hand where I can make like little taco bowls or just traditional 50-50 plates. You all gave me some great ideas in the Facebook group when I was seeing your meals, so hopefully we can kind of just share back and forth. I really enjoyed sharing this week with you. Hopefully next week I'll have a ton of meals to share because like I said, I'm going to try to share 7 days of what I eat in a day. And I really appreciate you being here. Give this video a huge thumbs up, and I will see you in a new video very soon. Bye-bye.